What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We are back here with another new look rebuild, and we're talking about a team that had a really hot commodity on the open market, and it felt like he was going to be traded, but they decided to extend him instead. And of course, I'm talking about Lauri Markkanen and the Utah Jazz. He has inked a new contract that makes him completely ineligible to be traded this season, so it's kind of an interesting decision for the Jazz to make. So let's just go ahead and jump in and do this new look 5-year Utah Jazz rebuild. Before we get into today's video, make sure guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. So let's talk about it, man. Lauri Markkanen seemed like he was going to be traded to the Warriors, the Spurs, the Thunder. Like, there's a bunch of rumors out there about Lauri Markkanen this offseason, and it felt like he was going to be moved eventually. It felt like the Jazz were going to get a ton for him, but instead they decided to extend him at this point of the offseason, which makes him completely ineligible to be traded even at the deadline. So of course that doesn't mean he won't be traded in the future by any means, but it does make you wonder if the Jazz are maybe committed to trying to build a team with Markkanen on it. I don't know if Markkanen could really be considered like a #1 option. I think maybe as a third guy, maybe borderline second guy in a championship team, I could maybe see it, but that's definitely pushing it. But regardless, they have decided to extend him, so it kind of makes things very, very interesting for what the Jazz decide to do going forward. Of course, they have a bunch of draft picks still. Like, they could probably get anybody they wanted. They had a really good draft this offseason. They got Isaiah Collier. They got Cody Williams. So a fantastic draft for them overall. And it's just very interesting, to say the least. So let's just go ahead and take a look at everything. So Lauri Markkanen, Walker Kessler, Colin Sexton, John Collins, Keontae George, Hill Hendricks, and then Clarkson, Drew Eubanks, and Omer Yurtseven. So let's just go ahead and get straight into year number one. So since we can't trade Lauri Markkanen, we probably won't be stopping the deadline unless we're going to trade Jordan Clarkson or something. So it'll be interesting to see if this Jazz team can be competitive in year one. I feel like if I make a good enough rotation, I can maybe, just maybe see us be a play-in team in year one. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. So Prankin lands is 27th overall. 3-star proficiency under Will Hardy. So that's all fantastic. There's been some rumors about trading Walker Kessler as well. Maybe we decide to do that. We shall see. But the starting five is Keontae George, Colin Sexton, Markkanen, Hendricks, Kessler, Collins, Clarkson, Eubanks, Isaiah Collier, and then Cody Williams. So, of course, I want to get Cody Williams minutes right away if possible. So, we're going to throw him in there. So, we're going to throw Cody Williams some minutes. And then Omer is going to be left out. And so is Kyle Filipowski and then Sensabaugh, I guess, as well. So, I'm going to send Kyle and Sensabaugh to the G League this season. And then Collier and Cody Williams will get the minutes. So, Sensabaugh and also Kyle can head to the G League. But we're going to simulate year one. If I do stop at the deadline, the only reason I would do so is probably to trade Jordan Clarkson, but I don't think that's like absolutely a rush to be necessary. Like, we don't have to rush that. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not really expecting this team to be very good this year, but maybe they surprise me and we beat, we're a playing team or something. So I guess it's Markkanen is the #1 option here. We can boost the shot tendency up. But I kind of just want to see, even if we tank year one, and I've seen the Jazz get lucky and land Cooper Flag, like if that could happen to us in this video, that, of course, is something I would not be complaining about. Maybe we could boost Hendricks' shot tendency up just a tad bit as well or something. So we're going to go ahead, simulate year one, and we're just going to see how this Utah Jazz team does. And we'll, build from what we need to do from there. Today's video is brought to you by two softwares designed to help you beat the sports books and become a much profitable sports bettor. And we're starting on Daily Grind Fantasies Optimizer. So this is a really good tool if you're playing on apps such as PrizePicks, Underdog, or any other DFS app. They offer a plethora of tools that help you become a profitable sports bettor. So let's go ahead and start on the simple one, being the Daily Grind Fantasies Optimizer. So basically how this works, it compares discrepancies across multiple sports books. I am recording this late at night, so all you can really see is esports. And I've said this before, but I know betting on esports sounds absolutely degenerate, but there really is some crazy line discrepancies on esports because it's such a liquid market. So if you look at this guy, I don't know nothing about this dude, by the way, but under 32.5. But as you can see, you got Underdog and Hot Streak at 30.5. It would make no sense for us to say, hey, let's go to Underdog and bet the under of 30.5. You're getting ripped off if you do that. That makes no sense to do. That's why it's so important to have multiple apps because you just don't know where the value will be. And in this case, on PrizePicks, Daily Grind Fantasies, suggesting we take the under 32.5. Even if this doesn't, work out in our favor, we know over the long run we are getting the best price for our bank, or best bang for our price. You get what I'm trying to say. So basically, this is why it's so cool. They also have something that's called the AI slip generator. Unfortunately, there's no slips right now, but it actually builds up slips for you. This one is a little pricey, not gonna lie. So I would only recommend getting this if you're like really serious about betting on sports, but it's very, very pricey. The optimizer, pretty decent price for what it is. So make sure to check it out. Links down in the description below. And we go over to OddsJam's Positive EV tool, which I've been using a lot lately. Again, I'm recording this late at night. So no crazy value on the board. There was a couple preseason things. So I guess we got San Diego Padres versus Pittsburgh Pirates over 4.5 total runs. So similar thing. Clearly, we're getting the best price at -108 over on Thrills. As you can see, 3 other books, -132, -125, -115. It would make no sense for us to say, hey, let's go to FanDuel and bet the over 4.5 first total runs when clearly the best price is on Thrills. So that's basically how this works, is you're just line shopping and find the best value to place your money on. It's just like if you're buying a car, you're going to go buy it at the cheapest place possible. So make sure to check out both tools. Links are down in the description below. I'll even show you how this month is going for me so far by using this OddsJam's positive EV tool. As you can see, 46, 63. I'm having a really good day on Wednesday, and there's a few bets that haven't settled. I'm going to hit 2 out of 3 of these. Unfortunately, Schoolbull did give up 2 runs. All good, though. We should have a green day, still. So make sure to check it out. Links are down in the description below. Other than that, let's get back to the video. So the boy Luka Doncic wins MVP at the end of year 1, but year 1 went decently well. We actually end up being a play-in team, which is kind of exciting and fun. We're the 8th in the Western Conference. Of course, I would have loved to have maybe been a lottery team and have a chance of getting like Cooper Flag or something, but I am very okay with, establishing ourselves a little bit. So 24 from Markkanen, 15 from Sexton, 15 from Keontae George, and 14 from Clarkson. I think clearly we probably need a co-star in this video at one point. I know Collier can develop really nicely. I've seen him do it before. Maybe we can get that out of Cody Williams as well. So maybe these 2 guys are going to be the key to that in the future. So maybe if we just started them, it would just take us to, take off. But if I'm going to get Lauri Markkanen a co-star, I definitely want it to be somebody different that I don't usually get. I don't know if that's going to exist, but we'll see. So we get Sacramento in the first round of the play-in, and we do lose to them. So even if we head to the lottery, it's not going to hurt my feelings, of course, because, like, clearly, okay, we're in the playoffs. Never mind. So we're not going to the lottery. We get to play the Timberwolves in round 1. Markkanen's former team. Not really. He got traded on draft night. Never really played for Minnesota. But he was drafted with their selection in the Jimmy Butler trade. But let's go ahead and still make our round against Minnesota. I doubt we beat them, but you never know. We do get 1 game on them, so at least we don't get swept. Gentlemen sweep instead. But overall, a solid start to the video. Was not expecting a championship. I thought we'd maybe be a lottery team. We did not. We made the playoffs. Got some playoff experience for some of the young guys. Mavericks go on, and they beat in the middle of the ball. So LeBron James is going to retire. Conley's retiring. Some important retirements there. Let's get straight into the lottery, shall we? So we are not going to have a lottery pick here, unfortunately. So our pick is going to be outside of the lottery, which means I think our pick is going to Oklahoma City, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, it says it stays with us, I guess. Okay, so we're going to be picking at 15, which is nice. And then Rockets via Phoenix, Thunder via Clippers, Spurs via Chicago, Hawks via LA. So damn, a lot of... And we got Cleveland's pick late and Minnesota's pick. So maybe we could package 15, 26, and 29 to move up to maybe like get... Maybe the Wizards would like 3 picks in this draft since they're rebuilding. So yeah, or maybe we could go to like the Spurs and trade up all the way to 3. That might be kind of crazy, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So let's go to staff signing. And we're going to keep Will Hardy around because I usually have pretty good success with them anyway when I hire him on different teams. So as long as he's still out here, that's who I'm going to bring back. But I don't even see him. Did the man retire or did I pass him? Will Hardy, where are you? Did he really retire? I've never seen him do that before. He retired. What on earth? You're like 30-something years old, aren't you? You're like very, whatever, I guess. Okay, so Will Hardy's going to call it a career. Very weird. Never seen him do that before. So we have Joe Mazzulla. We have, Tyronn Lue, Billy Donovan, Taylor Jenkins. So there's still some good options out here. That was very weird. I did not expect Will Hardy to retire. So, I guess if Tyronn Lue got fired from the Clippers, if he wants to come to Utah because we're about to build something special, we'll grab Tyronn Lue. So yeah, I can't imagine Tyronn Lue would ever go to Utah. I feel like, the Lakers would get him or something. But whatever. Will Hardy retires. We get Lue, so not too shabby. And now we can just fill out the rest of this. So we're going to get a coach staff that looks pretty damn good. Really like where this is going so far. We just need 1 more spot filled out. And Theodore Ware would, complete that. And we get it completed. All right, so let's head to draft night. Instead of drafting 3 players, because I feel like we have a lot of good young players, let's see if we can move up using 15, 26, and 29. I'm going to just shoot for the moon real quick. And I'm going to go talk to the Spurs about trading all the way up to 3. Would they do this? I don't know. They say no. They want Colin Sexton. They'll give me Keldon Johnson. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Do I want Keldon Johnson? I mean, I know the Spurs have wanted to get rid of him. But we have to trade another pick. I mean, trading into the top 3, we guarantee ourselves Harper, Flag, or Ace Bailey if we do this. So it is interesting if we go that direction. Do we want to do that, though, and trade Sexton? I mean, I don't like... It wouldn't hurt my feelings to trade Sexton away if the Spurs really want him. Although I'm not really sure where they'd want him that badly, to be honest. Man, maybe we can give them, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we don't go to the Spurs. Maybe trading all the way up to 3 is a little unrealistic. So let's go to the Wizards instead. I think maybe trading up to 7 isn't crazy. So let's see if we can get 7 for these 3 picks. They say no, which is very interesting. I'll give you a second, and they still don't agree to that. Wow, I'm surprised. Okay, maybe I can throw like Johnny Juzang in here and call it a day. What do you say? No. Wow, I'm shocked they're saying no to this. I even almost got the Spurs to accept. Okay, so we had to throw in a second. So we throw in Johnny Juzang, and we trade all the way up to 7. So in this draft class, I think getting the 7th overall pick is solid, especially if someone falls to us, which is very possible. So Ace Bailey's going 1. Harper's going to the Blazers. So yeah, okay, Portland, you have enough guards as it is. Let's draft another one, and we pass on Cooper Flag. It's just insane. Okay, so now we get Cooper Flag on the Spurs with Wemby, so that's going to be hard to beat. DJ Edgecombe on the Thunder. We got Jaleel, and then now we get to pick a 7. So number 7, we got Hugo, we got Trey Johnson, Liam, we got one of the bigs, we got Noah, Dink, Colin Murray, Wagner, Ian Jackson, Angela Howard, Damian Sarr. I know Dink is still here as well. I think I would be crazy if I didn't go with Hugo here, though. I mean, I know how good Hugo can be, and I got to take him, I think. So we're going to take Hugo at 7. We trade all the way up to 7, and we're going to come away with Hugo Gonzalez. I can't be too mad about that. He'll be very helpful in the future. So Walker Kessler, and even if we don't keep Hugo and we use him in a trade, like, I'm still very happy with his services, you know, whatever we do with him. So free agency, I can't imagine we have cap space. I doubt it. But yeah, so we don't have, like, cap space or anything. All right, so what do we want to do? Do we want to make some kind of crazy trade, or do we just want to stick to what we got going on? Because we have, you know, Colin Sexton, Clarkson, Markkanen is the 3 right now, Hendricks is our 4, and Kessler and Collins is our 5 position with Kyle and Drew Eubanks. So I guess if there was any position I would upgrade, it's somewhere in the backcourt. I like Keontae George, so I guess if there was, like I said, a guy to go for, it'd be in the backcourt. So I'm going to take a look and maybe see what our options are if we wanted to maybe go aggressive here and trade for someone in our backcourt to help out. So, you know, I don't often do this, but since the Blazers drafted Dylan Harper and added another guard to their team, I feel like we might be able to come away with one of their guards. So whether it's Simon, Sharp, or Scoot, that's kind of who I want to go with to try to get them over here in Utah. Now, Anthony Simons would be awesome, I think, in Utah. I really do. But unfortunately, in 2K, he just doesn't progress in anything crazy. He kind of stays in 85 and doesn't move up. But yeah, him next to Lauri Markkanen would be awesome. I got him in the Orlando video, and he really didn't elevate us that much, which is why, as much as I love Simons in real life, and I think if Utah wanted to go get him, I think that'd be awesome. I just would rather go for Scoot or Sharp because they develop really nicely in 2K. That's just kind of the reality of the situation. So, which one do we want is the question. I think I'm going to go towards Shaedon Sharp. So let's see if we get Shaedon Sharp in Utah. Since the Blazers want to draft yet another guard and they get Dylan Harper, let's see if we can find a way to make them do this trade. So if we're going to get Shaedon Sharp, that's going to make, I mean, we can throw Sensabaugh in here. Since Hugo, I mean, we just drafted Hugo, but we could send him over for Shaedon Sharp because I've gotten Hugo in a few other videos. I don't get Shaedon Sharp all that often. So what if we turn Hugo into Shaedon Sharp after the draft? Would that be crazy to do? Sensabaugh and Hugo for Shaedon Sharp. Or we could keep Hugo, but I mean, I don't know. What do we want to do? Do we want to do this? Do we do something different? Hendricks, I'm not throwing in there. I want to keep them throughout the video. Clarkson's not very valuable to Portland. So I feel like it's got to be one of our young guys. Cody Williams, I mean, we could trade him, but I kind of like keeping him since the Jazz actually drafted him. Kyle Filipowski. You know what? Screw it. Since I've had Hugo in a few videos already, I'm going to go ahead and offer this. They don't agree to it right away. Let's say we threw in this 2026 pick swap and they do agree. So we get Shaedon Sharp. Shaedon Sharp, welcome to Utah. I like it. I don't know why the Blazers drafted another guard, but I am very happy with having Shaedon Sharp on the team. So that's going to make one of Clarkson or Sexton available just because clearly we kind of have Shaedon Sharp as the full-time starter now. Cody Williams, I want to continue to play that role at the backup small forward. So now we just need to trade Jordan Clarkson, I think, because obviously Sexton's a little bit younger. Clarkson will probably regress. So, first round pick from the Bucks for Pat Connaughton. I'm more than okay with that, so we're going to go ahead and just do that. All right, so that is done deal. We got Shaedon Sharp to pair with Lauri Markkanen. We're going to have to pay Shaedon Sharp in the offseason. And then Kessler is not a free agent yet, right? Oh, okay. I just had to make sure of that. So, I like it. Player progression. Let's see what it's looking like. So, Sharp is going to be up to an 85. Fantastic. George is up. So, this is our backcourt, which is awesome. Kessler is up. Hendricks, Collier, Cody Williams, Kyle, all these guys developing, which is, you know, lovely to see. Now, our center rotation is going to be interesting because both of them are, you know, free agents in the offseason, and Walker Kessler asked for a stupid amount of money. every time. I've gotten him in one of these videos before, as you guys know, and we've done all that we could to avoid paying him as much as he asked for. But it's still quite a bit of money to give him. But regardless, we're going to year 2 with Shaden Sharp joining the fold next to Markkanen and giving ourselves a little bit of a co-star with Sharp. And now we're going to run this at a 4-star balance, I imagine. So yeah, I was about to say we should be a 4-star. So we got to give Shaden Sharp a more of an offensive role as well. We're going to boost his shot tendency up here in just a second. Let's take a look at it. So proficiency, 4-star, and here's your starting 5. So it's George, Sharp, Markkanen, Hendricks, Kessler, Sexton, Collins, Collier, Cody Williams, and Kyle Filipowski. I like it. And then we run Sharp's shot tendency up, which is a 75 right now. Let's boost that up to like a 90, and he should become the co-star we want him to be next to Markkanen. So let's go ahead, simulate year number 2, and let's see how much Shaden Sharp elevates this roster after we have traded for him and acquired him from the Blazers. So at the end of year number 2, things don't go as well as I thought they would. We end up not making it at all in the play-in or playoffs. I thought it would be much better, and I was just completely wrong. So if you take a look at the player stats, you had 21 from Sharp, 19 from Markkanen, 16 from Count George, 14.5 from Hendricks, and then 13 from Collier and 12 from Colin Sexton. 11 and 11, or 10 and 12 from Walker Kessler rather than 8 and then 7 from John Collins. So yeah, a little disappointed. It is what it is, but I think by shedding some guys off the books, we're probably going to become better because we'll have, more established roles on the team. So Oklahoma City goes on to beat Detroit. So what I mean by that is we probably won't resign John Collins. I probably won't resign Colin Sexton either, just because I think he's kind of redundant to what we already kind of have. So as far as, draft pick compensation, we won't have like a high pick in this draft or anything like that. So Thunder via the Clippers, number 1, Knicks via Washington. So do we have a pick in this draft from somebody? I don't think so. It doesn't look like it. So it looks like our pick is going to where is our pick actually? The Blazers have it. Oh, interesting. Did I just trade that to them? Oh yeah, because there was a pick swap or something, whatever. So I just traded that to Portland Trailblazers. So miss out on a lottery pick in this draft for Shaden Sharp, which sucks. But again, I'm not really worried. I feel like this year was a little fluky, and I believe when we get rid of Collins and Sexton, that's going to give, Shaden Sharp and Markkanen more of the scoring, and I think we'll be just fine. If I had to guess going into next season and what things will look like. So I don't think we had a draft pick at all in this draft. So let me just double check. Yes, no. We still have a bunch of future draft picks to make any kind of change if needed. So Keanu George, Hendricks, Collier, Cody Williams, of course, we're keeping all of these guys. Qualifying offers, Filipowski, Shaden Sharp, and Walker Kessler. Guys, I all want to bring back. Filipowski, I'm not dying if he leaves, but Sexton, I'm not bringing back for $27 million. Collins, I'm not bringing back for $23 million. Obviously, not bringing back Eubanks and not bringing back Connaughton. It would be crazy if we had money. I mean, we technically do have money for Luka, but that would mean getting rid of Kessler and Shaden Sharp, which I'm not going to do. But yeah, getting Luka would be awesome next to Markkanen. But we kind of chosen. I'm going to offer Shaden Sharp his money, so we're going to give him, a little bit, around $35 million, and then I'm going to. As you guys know, Kessler for $40 million is just ridiculous, so I'm going to take that to the last day of free agency. I'm also going to renounce Sexton. I'm not bringing him back, so we're going to let him go, and we are just going to simply focus on bringing Kessler back. Hopefully, he doesn't get like a really gigantic offer, and we should be solid. Okay, so it says we have money, but I assume once we sign Kessler to his contract, that's going to take that out really quickly. But yeah, so we do need a backup 5, so we can't just take this to the last day of free agency and be fine, because we're going to need to fill out the rest of the positions. So Williams and Collier, I think, should play a pivotal role off the bench this year, which is fun. George is going to start. Sharp's still at the 2. Hendrick's still going to start. Markkanen. So also bring in Kessler. So we just need to sign a backup 5. So let's go see what that ends up being. So backup centers, we got, Isaiah Jackson, Hartenstein, Vucevic, Bagley, Tillman, Filipowski, I guess will be back. So do we just trust Filipowski on his qualifying offer? I don't know, man. Something tells me I shouldn't, but I guess I will. I guess we'll just run with him. So let's see. Shooting guards. Backup shooting guard, we can maybe go get. Let's see. Do we have anybody good? Like D'Anthony Melton or Isaiah Joe would be fine, or like a Keon Ellis, or even a Bruce Brown. I mean, any of those guys would be fantastic. I'm going to go for Nick Alexander Walker, who I think had a quick stop in Utah. Wasn't he on Utah for like a second? Yeah, so he did have a quick stop in Utah for a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and offer him a contract to be our backup 2 guard. And then Kyle will be our backup center. I'm not sure how confident I am in that, but that's probably going to be what we end up doing. We could sign another guy just in case, but I'm going to trust in Kyle. We'll see how that goes if it backfires. So We're going to take Kessler to the last day of free agency, as I mentioned, and we're going to give him a contract then because he just asked for way too much money. But for, you know, let's give him like a 5-year, $25 million. I don't think that's too bad. So as long as he'll sign something like that, he declines that. So we can't get him for 25. All right, so 5-year, let's say it's 26 on the dot then. 26, still declines it. Okay, what if it's 4-year, 26 on the dot? Maybe we can do 25 4-year. Let's see. 25.25. No! Damn, okay. I've used all of my offers. Let's make sure we get him back. We can't get him to not look at the offer. So, all right, let's just go 26 on a 4-year. I think he'll accept this, I imagine. He does. Okay, so he should accept that. He does. So we'll get him back, and then Filipowski's back for $4.4 million. All right, so now we kind of have a full rotation of Markkanen, Shaden Sharp, Kessler, George, Hendricks, Collier, Filipowski. I was kind of hoping Collier and Williams would develop more. I understand they aren't starting, so maybe that has a little bit of a role. Maybe that has a little bit of a problem, or that's the problem. But we're going to year 3, and we're hoping by shedding, you know, just a little bit more guys that need more scoring like Sexton and Collins, that we should be really good this season by giving, you know, everybody more established roles. Somebody's going to be able to be a third scorer, not have to worry about Sexton and stuff like that. So I'm excited. I'm going into year 3 feeling optimistic about being a straight up playoff team. I don't know if we'll be a contender necessarily, but that's why we have all these future draft picks, because eventually we're going to be able to do something that would make us that. Maybe that's eventually trading Kessler's salary out to go get somebody. I don't know. But I'm excited. So Keandre George, Sharp, Hendricks, Markkanen, Kessler, Collier, Filipowski, Cody Williams, Nick Alexander-Walker. Full rotation. We'll see how this year goes. I'm expecting some fireworks, but hopefully I'm not proven wrong, as we're off to a pretty good start at 4-2. But we'll see how the rest of the season goes. So at the end of year 3, we find ourselves back in the playoff mix, this time avoiding the play-in altogether and just a straight-up playoff team. So I'm excited and I'm optimistic as Shaden Sharp makes an All-NBA third team. Look at the explosiveness we got out of Shaden Sharp this year, averaging 29 points per game. Love to see it. 42% from 3, so that's exactly what we traded for, which is why we gave up so much to get him. I don't even feel like we gave up that much, but I'm very, very glad we have him on our side. So we end up as the 4th seed in the West. I don't know if this is going to end up being a championship team here, but I'm excited nonetheless to figure out how we're going to do. So, like I said, moving, you know, Sexton and Collins out of here, I feel like it gave guys more established roles, which I'm excited about. But we're about to go into things, and we're going to see how we do. As we're up to a 4-star proficiency, so let's see if we can come out here and beat the Dallas Mavericks, who have Luka, Kyrie, Prosper, Gafford. I mean, their forward positions are a little poverty, so I assume Hendricks and Markkanen can get the best of those guys. But let's go ahead and somebody come around against Dallas, and we are going to go down 3-2 after we had a 2-0 lead. That definitely is a little unfortunate, but all we got to do is win game 6, and we go back to a game 7 in Utah, then it's anyone's series. So let's see if we can win this game 6 in Dallas, though. We got to do that first and foremost. Gonna be a close one as Dallas does get back on her tail. Oh man, that was close. But 34 from Hendricks. Love to see that. 23 points per game, shooting 55% in this series so far. All right, Hendricks, bring that to game 7. We should be chilling and going to the second round. So let's see if we can beat Dallas here. We got a somewhat close one. They're probably gonna get back in the game. This is kind of what last game looked like. It looked like we were blowing them out, and then they slowly got back into it and almost broke our hearts. But we kept them off last time. Can we do it again? Gonna be close, but I think we're gonna, you know, thunder or I keep trying to think of these metaphors and I can't say them. Weather the storm. We're weathering the storm. Beat them 133 to 141, 34, 31, and 22. Love what Hendricks is doing for us. He's averaging 23 in the playoffs on 50% shooting from the 3-point line. We need that to continue if we're gonna beat a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, who obviously just continue to get better through the draft. Of, you know, how many draft picks that they have had. It's been kind of crazy with, you know, the Clippers being so bad. But here goes nothing. Second round against Oklahoma City. I mean, I don't know if we're going to beat them, but it's cool that we won a series anyway, and we're down 3-0. So, yeah, Oklahoma City just is too good. So, we're not ready to beat them. But we've taken a step in the right direction, nonetheless. So, Cleveland goes on to win it all. Oklahoma City ends up losing there. But now we need to take another jump. So, I think the main thing we need this offseason is a new backup 5. I don't think Kyle Filipowski is going to cut it. His rebounds are extremely low. Like, you need a better... Ooh, we're going to have this Lakers pick as well. Okay. So let's see where this pick ends up. And it's going to be number 4. So that's a little disappointing. But we get to add a rookie scale contract to this team. I think that's pretty important in this new CBA, so I'm excited about that. So let's see who we end up getting at 4. This is the 2027 draft class. Which draft class is that again? So this got the Tyron Stokes, Arenas, Gaskins. So I don't know much about these guys. I mean, I'll learn about them as we get closer, of course. But we're just going to take who we think is best. So Arenas, Gilpolt. So who do we got? So we got Tyron Stokes. He's got Hall of Fame ceiling and starter is his. Yeah, so I think we're going to go with Tyron Stokes. So I think we needed a new backup power forward anyway. So I actually feel pretty good about that. We have a late pick as well. Let's see what we got here. So starter. I mean, it doesn't really matter who we get at this point, I imagine. I'll just grab Mr. Caden Samuels, and I'll feel pretty good about that. So we end up getting a 78 backup power forward. I think that's pretty solid. We had 2 other first-round picks. Actually, 3 other first-round picks. I mean, we can sign all of them, but I doubt they'll be that helpful in this video. So we're going to sign these guys, of course. Keanu George, we're going to bring back, and Hendricks, we're going to bring back. Cal Filipowski, I don't think I'm bringing back. I mean, he's not good, man. He's not good in the 2K sim. Now, Keanu George wants a ton of money, bro. I can't give you 40 million. That's just insane. Hendricks had himself some playoffs, though, so I can maybe see him getting paid. But in the Filipowski, you're out of your mind if you think I'm giving you $18 million. You can go find that somewhere else. So backup 5, though, this is what we really need to prioritize. And I just don't like anything in free agency that I'm seeing. So I think maybe getting all those first-round picks that we just got is going to be helpful because we need a legitimate backup center. So I am going to do what I've been doing. So we're not going to renounce Hendricks and George. That's insane. We're going to renounce Mr. Filipowski, though. I'm not bringing him back. He sucks. So I'm renouncing him with pleasure. So I'm going to renounce him. So he's gone. And we're going to make sure we get Keanu George and Hendricks back. No problem there. All right. So we're going to go trade for a backup 5, though, first and foremost. I mean, I think we should have some salaries to try to get something done with it. So that's what we're going to go with. And probably going to have to use Alexander Walker's salary to do it. But we need a new backup center in the worst way possible. So I guess we can go for B-Ball Paul, who, of course, ended up signing an offer sheet with Utah anyway. It didn't end up working out because Philadelphia matched it, but he is our brand new backup 5. So welcome B-Ball Paul to be our brand new backup center. Tyron Stokes is our backup power forward. Williams is our backup 3, and we're just simply going to obviously re-sign Hendricks and Keanu George. And basically, I guess all we'll need is a backup shooting guard to have a full 10-man rotation. So whether that's like Quentin Grimes, who I think would actually be a really solid fit here. So we're going to go for Quentin Grimes. And I'm not renouncing Hendricks or George. 2K, you're out of your freaking mind. We might have to renounce them to sign Quentin Grimes, though. No, we don't. We don't have to do that. Okay, so we get Quentin Grimes. All right, so once again, I'm taking this to the last day of free agency because I want to sign these guys for as cheap as possible, man. We can't go around giving guys $40 million. It's just too much money, man. It's just too much in this new CBA. You can't do it. So if Shannon Sharp's not making $40 million, there's no way I'm giving you, $40 million per, unfortunately, Keanu George. So we're going to the last day now. We should be able to sign them to what I want. So Hendricks on making $20 million would be very solid. So I'm going to go for that. And then George, same thing. If we can get him for like 26, 25-ish, I would be okay with that. He declines that first offer, so let's just, maybe go up to 27. So we'll do 27. So George and Hendricks are back on the last day of free agency, and here's the progression. So Kessler, George, Collier is also... Ooh, Collier hit a huge stride. That's fantastic. So 85 overall. He's going to want a massive extension in the offseason as well, so it might be in our best interest to get a championship in year 4, potentially. So we got a new backup 5. That's great. I don't know if that's going to change the whole dynamic of this team, though. It's going to help out tremendously. But I think there's a chance that stopping at the deadline might be in our best interest because we can't just be fully confident that this team is going to go win it all. Like, I think there's a good chance we have, Oklahoma City stacked, though. But getting an 85 Collier off our bench is going to help out a ton. Hendricks was fantastic in the last playoffs. We give Quentin Grimes some minutes. We added Tyron Stokes as well, so who knows what he's going to add to the team. If I do stop at the deadline to show you, maybe to go do something. But if the team's just doing too damn good, maybe I just keep the continuity the way it is. I like the roster, but will it lead to a championship? We shall see how we do in the regular season and maybe answer that question. So I am stopping at the deadline because I'm going to trade B-Ball Paul and Quentin Grimes for Clint Capella. The reason why I'm getting Clint Capella because Capella is usually pretty damn good in 2K. And when I have Clint Capella on my teams, things seem to go well. So Capella is a great rebounder off the bench. Really good backup 5. That's going to push this to a 9-man rotation for the rest of the season. They're actually starting Collier over Keanu George, which is fairly interesting. But we're 28 and 22 on the season. And maybe that makes Keontae George more expendable in the offseason. Like, we could, in theory, trade Keontae George. Not that I'm, like, looking to get something in particular for his services. But Collier has obviously established himself this year, averaging 17 and 6. Doing really good as well. He's going to want to get paid this offseason, so it's going to be really hard to pay 2 guards, assuming he's going to want an absolute bag. So we'll see, man. I'm going to go ahead, keep simulating 28 and 22 on the season. We've added Capella over Paul Reed. Like I said, usually when I have Capella, things go fairly well. So just kind of banking on that dynamic for year 4. So at the end of year 4, Halliburton captures the MVP award, and he also gets Clutch Player of the Year. So we climbed up in the standings after making the Capella trade, which is nice. That's kind of what I wanted to see. So we avoid being a play-in team or a playoff team again. We're the 6th in the Western Conference. I don't feel really too bad. I feel like we can upset the Grizzlies in round 1. But 25 from Shaedon Sharpe, 19 from Collier, 18 from Markkanen, and 16 from Hendricks, and 15 from Keontae George. So all around, really love what my team was able to accomplish this year. But, of course, none of that matters if we don't go on to go on a deep playoff run. So we get the Memphis Grizzlies in round 1, who seem to struggle, but they do have Ace Bailey on this team. So that's going to make things interesting. So we shall see if Ace Bailey makes a difference, as we know it does not. We sweep them out of the water. We get rid of them pretty quickly. Wow. The Grizzlies seem to suck in 2K, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. But we get the San Antonio Spurs, who have, you know, Fox on the team now, like Cooper Flag, because the freaking Blazers drafted Dylan Harper, but I guess that led to me going to get Shaedon Sharpe, so I don't know. This one's going to be tough. I don't know if we're going to be able to beat this team. Cooper Flag and Wemby is different, of course. Like, 2 generational prospects end up on the same team. That sounds scary. Not to mention, they've added De'Aaron Fox to this team, and they have all defensive team member Stephon Cass, who always makes all defensive teams in 2K. He actually has it in this video, though, surprisingly. But, all right. Here we go. Let's just go. Game 1, we lose. Game 2, we even it up. Okay, we actually blew them out. Game 3 goes to us. We beat them by 4. Can we go up 3-1? No. Okay, we got a simcast at Game 5. Oklahoma City probably going to be awaiting us if we somehow beat the Spurs team, but we'll see. So let's simulate Game 5 in San Antonio. So let's see if we can maybe take the 3-2 lead here. And it's going to be a close one, but it looks like we're going to do it. So 117 and 103. We take the 3-2 lead, and now all we got to do is close them out in 6, and we get to play a team in the conference finals. I mean, that'd feel pretty good. But the San Antonio Spurs are right on our ankles, and it's going to be close. It's going to be a very close game down the stretch. Do we blow it, though, is the question. No, we do not. We beat them 127-143. Shaedon Sharpe comes out 14-19 from the field and 40 points. Absolutely lovely. And now we get to play the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have Shea Edgecombe. I mean, this team just absolutely mopped us last year. So, yeah, you know, that might happen again. But we'll see what happens. So let's just get to it. So game 1, 1-0 goes to us. Okay. Game 2, they even it up. Game 3, 2-1. Game 4, 3-1. And the Thunder, they might just be too tough to beat, man. It might just be one of those videos where we've built, you know, a really good team, but at the end of the day, you just run into the Thunder consistently, and they're going to take the lead from us at the very end. It looked like we were going to, you know, extend the series a little bit, but no, not at all. So we got one more year. I think the best thing we can hope for is to avoid the Thunder, but, bro, I mean, they got Edgecombe, they got Nicola still, they got Harrington, who they added on their team as well. This team is just going to be way too tough to beat, I imagine. But, hey, maybe we can avoid them next year and somehow make it. I don't know. So, probably won't be a ton of movement from me this offseason. I mean, I love that they made it all the way to the conference finals. I feel like we're one of the best teams in the West. It's just a matter of, hey, man, it's the Thunder in front of us. What can you really do? So, can I get Jason Kidd? No, he's not going to sign us. So, Jason Kidd is not going to be our assistant, unfortunately. What if I can get Darko, maybe? Darko, do you want to be an assistant? Nope, he says no as well. Okay. Maybe Lucas wants us. Okay, so get Lucas. All right, so let's go to draft night. Even though I don't believe I even have a draft class loaded. So we have the 10th and 12th pick. But at this point in the video, I mean, we could make a trade if we're... I mean, technically we could. But what do I want to trade George for? If I was going to trade George because I'm about to sign, so we would get some bonus in pick 4. MPJ and Davion Mitchell, Sasser, Johnson, and Vassell. But at this point, like, I don't know. I really like what George has done with the team. He's up to an 87. I just don't like any of those trades, really. We're going to draft whoever we get, but we're about to go into year 5 at this point. I just can't imagine whoever we get is going to, you know, help us out that much. So we'll sign both of them, but neither one of them is going to play this year. Collier and Cody Williams. Again, both of these guys are going to ask for massive extensions, especially Collier and Cody Williams, even though he hasn't done much, is asking for $30 million as well. So I think the best plan of action is just to hope both of them come back in their qualifying offers, because yeah, paying them is going to be hard. But it is year 5, so I will pay them even if they get an offer sheet. So we're just going to run the same roster back. I'm happy with the roster we've built. I like it a lot. We'll just see if it ends up, where we can maybe avoid the Thunder. We'll just have to get lucky in that way. So, Kodo M's Collier back, and we got Markkanen down. We got Stokes is up. So, I mean, Torrent Stokes going up could help out a ton. Capella is down, which is fine. We just need him to be a good rebounder off the bench because 2K rebounding is important. But we go into year 5. We just see if we can avoid the Thunder. I think that at the end of the day, that's what we need to try to do. The Spurs could still be a threat as well. But at the end of the day, it's the Thunder that I'm mostly worried about. 4.5 proficiency, same starting 5, Collier off the bench, and Tyron Stokes up to an 82. So, really good team. We'll see what happens. Similar year 5, and hopefully, maybe we can get the first seed in the West. That'd be cool, as we're off to a very hot start. So Isaiah Collier makes a huge improvement and wins 6th man of the year at 20 and 8 off the bench. And we also get Tyronn Lue to win coach of the year at 65 and 18. So the team did damn good, which is, a fantastic feeling to have. But let's see, man. Are we going to go win the championship is the question. We end up as the first seed. Oklahoma City is still on the other side of the bracket. Maybe somebody could take care of them before we see them. We shall see. But Collier's really improved in this video for us, which is fantastic. Well, we're going to draw the Mavericks in round 1. Of course, we lose to the 8th seed. It wouldn't totally shock me, to be completely honest with you. But hopefully we don't. So let's go ahead and see if we can beat the Mavericks. And we beat them in 5. Okay, so we take care of them. Now we get to play the Spurs, who we beat last year. But that doesn't mean we get to beat them this year as well. But we'll somebody come around again. And we sweep them. Okay. Wow, no issues there. But now we get the Thunder. So this is the team that I said I wanted to avoid. Unfortunately, that is not going to happen. We have to go right through them. So we do win game 1, 124 to 108. Game 2, they even it up. Fair enough. Game 3, 2 to 1. And this is where it's all going to end for us, isn't it? So, all right. We just got to even the series up. We're not dead. We're not dead in the water just yet. Just even the series up, and then it's anyone's ball game. So, but it doesn't look like we're going to even it up. It looks like we're going to go down 3 to 1 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, fortunately, it looks like we have run into the demon that is the Thunder. So let's see if we can maybe keep this series alive. We have the lead right now, but the Thunder are going to take it back. We take it back and forth game. And do we keep this series alive? Yes, we do. Barely. 136 to 140. 25 and 12. But hey, if we win another one, things become interesting. We got to win in Oklahoma City, though. We start off the lead in the first quarter. Can we keep it is the question. Had to lead the whole game. Don't give it up now. Just keep it going. And we might be forced into game 7. Wow. I thought we were done for sure, but we're going to a game 7. Did 2K give me a game 7 to get my hopes up just to let me down? Let's see. We got ourselves a close one, and it looks like we are going to blow them out here. Holy moly, we may have done it if we don't blow this lead. We may have done it. We have beaten the Oklahoma City Thunder. That is a huge W. I think Collier, his development has been fantastic. If it wasn't for him, I don't think we have any chance. But now we get to play the Hornets. So we've gotten this far. This is year 5. Hopefully we can win. So game 1, I mean, what do the Hornets have, by the way? So LaMelo, Nick Smith, Miller, Miles Bridges, Mark Williams, Jalen Johnson, Keldon Johnson. But we win game 1. Game 2 goes to us as well. Game 3, no chance. And we sweep the Hornets. Let's freaking go, baby. We only lost 4 games, and 3 of those to the Oklahoma City Thunder throughout this finals run. I will take it. I hope you guys enjoy the video. What a W way to end the video. I was kind of expecting not to win this one. Thought the Thunder would take us out, but we climbed back in and we got it done. I'm going to end it on that note. Utah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Lauri Markkanen and the rest of the roster going forward. I think they're a fun team still, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to end it there. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.